Chase the Traveler again in Paraguay. Again, I'm in the first world section exploring, thinking about what it is exactly that is interesting about this place. I definitely do not do the touristy thing. Yes, I'm pretty sure there are touristy places to visit. I'm pretty sure there are really nice historic places to visit, but I get my pleasure from walking around the city. I get my pleasure from looking at normal things, looking at the normal things that people do, going about their everyday lives and the kind of lives they have. And honestly, this place really hasn't disappointed me. I'm surprised that not many people know about this place or not many people visit this place, because the service is actually pretty good. The service is actually not bad at all. I would say it's a step above Brazil, probably on par with Japan. And I'm serious when I say that. The service here, especially for me as a foreigner, is probably better than what I see in America. And people over here aren't really shying away from the camera. A lot of people want to actually be on the camera, be on camera. Unlike Japan, where people are trying to get away from your viewfinder. It's not like that over here. So I guess there aren't that many tourists. Which is a good thing. When too many tourists come, can ruin things. Too many tourists can change the people's attitude towards you. I've seen it happen in Japan. I've seen it in a lot of places where you have a lot of tourists. And you know, when I was walking around the rich neighborhoods in the US, a lot of viewers were concerned about my safety. And they were like, hey dude, I mean, you know, you're walking around in that neighborhood, be careful. So, thank you for that. But I have to tell you that I don't think anything's happening to people in this neighborhood. You don't really have to be worried to walk around here. I haven't seen anybody give me any dirty looks or asked me if I lived here or maybe I should go somewhere else. Hasn't happened. I definitely wouldn't mind living in these places. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if those houses were about $300,000 or $400,000 US. I'm not sure, but that's what I think they cost. Because a new condo in a high-rise in these areas would cost you, a two-bedroom condo, a new one, brand new one, like on the 10th floor or something, would cost you around $150,000. So I would say that something like this would probably cost $300,000 to $400,000. And one thing that I did notice today when I was in the market, I think these dogs have a little bit of Brazil in them, because that's what you see in Brazil. Dogs at the gate telling you to keep walking. So, like I was saying, you know, these properties are definitely properties that I would, I mean, you know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that if I did live here, I would most certainly shop in the third world section, because I mean the fruits are organic. I had them today; they were fantastic. I wouldn't buy them at the supermarket just because they're in the supermarket. And I'm just fascinated by, look at this house. This thing is huge. Now this guy's definitely in the $1 million range. I think. I don't know. I am assuming. I've also heard that a lot of foreigners live in this area. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know yet. But that's what I've been told. And guess we've got a fellow YouTuber. Hello. So even over here you have YouTubers over here too. It's not just me. But, you know, sometimes I miss when I'm out here in these places talking about Japan. Talking about how Japan is like, what Japan is like, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. But I still feel like I need to be here too. Because when you live in Japan too long, you kind of become, or you're kind of like in a bubble where you don't think that any other country matters based on what you see on Japanese TV and based on the perception that people have of Japan. I mean, they make it look like everything is wonderful all the time and that no other country matters, no other country has what they have. And honestly, there are bits and pieces of things that are really, really good and work really, really well in third world nations or developing countries that, and those people are not going to be coming over here. And I guarantee you that people that live in this area are quite comfortable in their third world country or their developed or their developing country. And they might spend a little week in Japan, 2 weeks in Japan, but that's about it. They'll come right back over here. And I'm very happy I came. Very happy that I can see the world and really decide for myself if Japan is the best or if America is the best. And let me tell you, there are very, very good things about America. There are very, very good things about Japan. But just because there are good things about America and good things about Japan doesn't mean that you're going to be part of that goodness or you're going to benefit from all that goodness. And I didn't feel like I was benefiting from the things that I wanted to benefit from in Japan. And you know, sometimes I feel like Japan is benefiting from the late 80s, early 90s. They're just benefiting off of their reputation. And it's like people are judging Japan based on what it did 2 decades ago. And that reputation is kind of like stuck. Even though Japan's on a decline. So even though Japan's on a decline, its reputation is still like intact. People still expect great things out of it, even though great things haven't been happening there for a very, very long time. But I definitely did learn a lot about Japan. And I'm definitely learning a lot about Paraguay right here. And let me tell you, if you don't have any money, let's say you don't have 30, 40,000, 50,000, I wouldn't recommend living here because you're going to have to work here. And if you have to work here, saving money is not going to be that easy. No, definitely not. Look, I guess this is another high-end school right here. Pretty much you want to make some cash in the developed world, live here for about $10,000 a year until you figure this place out. And this place is way less complicated. Way less complicated. So, these little walks do a lot for my mental health. Quite a bit. Seeing people living in their environment, living in their natural environment, and enjoying it is also interesting to me. Because again, every time you see a country that is portrayed either in Japan or the West that isn't part of Western Europe or North America, they show you certain specific things, but they don't show you normal activity. And that's what I'm showing you right now, normal activity. And I like to balance things out. I like to show you the part that they might show you, and I also like to show you the part that they definitely won't show you. And I'm pretty sure nobody's ever seen what it's like in these upper class neighborhoods in Paraguay. the apartment buildings look very nice. That entrance looks a lot better than what I've seen in Japan. Now, does every building over here look like that? Of course not. That's what I'm saying. You can live in a building like that for probably $600-700 a month. Maybe even $5 if it's small enough. So of course, I think I need to really put this in my notes, really think about this place very seriously. Because it's got all the things that a person would want if they wanted to live here. All the things that you're used to in Japan, all the things that you're used to in America. If you look hard enough, you're going to find it. Even the police waved at me. And you know something, I shouldn't even discuss these things about this country, because as soon as people start flooding over here, it's over. New high rise going up. Paraguay. You know, I'm going to look into how much these places really cost. Actually, you know, it's quite surprising. Up until now, most of these houses were kind of like quite uniform in the fact that they all look nice. And even when you turned a corner, pretty much you were going to see the same thing, up until now, where this house looks like it's a little bit run down, but it's surrounded by houses that are not run down. And that apartment building right there is pretty interesting.
Okay.
Hello, hi. Finally hear an American accent.
Yeah. In the United States?
Yeah, yes, I am.
From where?
I'm from New York City.
Oh, okay, I'm from Boston.
Ah, cool. So what are you guys doing here? What's it like?
We are on an American government program, teach English, basically.
Teaching English? Well, I did that in Japan for about 30 years.
You did?
I did. So how do you like?
I want to go to Japan so bad.
You want to go to Japan really badly?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you know, let me, I'm going to give them some advice on Japan. I mean, I don't know if you have time or anything, right? But I lived in Japan for about 30 years, yeah. So you might want to check out my channel, because I've got 80 videos on Japan.
Yeah.
So it's Chase with 5 8s.
Chase with 5 8s?
Yes, Chase 88888. And you'll learn quite a bit about Japan. I mean, you know, so yeah, Japan's got some wonderful things, of course, right? But definitely, I think that people don't really understand it.
I don't have much knowledge.
Trust me.
I love the food.
Well, you know something? Then you definitely need to watch my videos.
Yeah, I will.
But hey, but listen, if you if you guys can teach me a few things about Paraguay, what's Paraguay like? Do you mind?
Yeah, of course.
So tell me, what do you guys like about Paraguay?
I love Paraguayan food. The culture's. I've been here since. We've been here since February now on this specific program. But I was here before in 2022 and 2023 in the countryside learning Guarani. Yeah. So I don't know. It's super It's super cool to see.
people.
Like, yeah.
You like the
cool
people
to see like how they maintained the indigenous language for so long. And the majority of people speak it, which is different than other countries in Latin America.
Really? Now, do you know something? I've noticed that over here people are quite humble. They're not arrogant, and the service is actually quite good. Are you also from Boston?
No, I'm near Washington, D.C., Virginia. So
Okay,
my mom grew up in Queens.
Oh, okay. I lived in Queens for a little bit also, by Rego Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I don't like to say that I'm from New York anymore because I spent more time in Japan than I did in New York.
Okay.
So therefore, it's kind of like I went back to New York a few weeks ago, and I didn't feel like everybody was just gone.
Everything was changed.
Everything was gone.
There.
Too many
There's a
people.
lot of people.
Well, teaching English is, it's interesting because I did that for so many years, and you guys are just starting. So, and you're like still like in that, I love it kind of.
I'm an ESL teacher in the United States before.
The ESL right? Okay, wow.
So I teach high school ESL.
Wow, that's wonderful. I did that for a little bit also. It's great. So you're liking this country?
Yeah.
I like it too.
How long have you been here?
I've been here for about a week.
Okay.
So I've been traveling around, just traveling the world, right? So I was in Brazil 2 weeks ago. I'm going to Colombia in about 3 weeks.
Nice.
After I finish documenting what I see here.
What are you planning on seeing in Paraguay?
Well, I will see. I'm going to visit the various neighborhoods because I think that Paraguay is like a country that a lot of people just don't think about.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they think, I'm going to go to Japan and it's so much better. And I think that this is better.
Yeah.
I think that this is better. But when you talk about Japan, the hype is so big.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very commercialized.
People just don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why you guys should watch my videos because I tell it like it is.
I've heard a lot about the work culture in Japan. How it's very like if you want to quit your job, it's very shamed on. Like you're finding another job, you have another job. They're like,
no, that's Japanese people might get that.
Yeah.
You probably won't get that as much. You won't get that as much.
Some
Right?
understanding that we're not.
yeah, it's like I don't look Chinese or not Chinese, Japanese.
Yeah,
I look Japanese, so.
Definitely. I also wouldn't recommend you guys go to Japan to teach English either. But
That's also I've heard that a lot. I've heard that it's really hard in Japan and Korea. The Reddit threads that I've.
Let me tell you,
on a little
30
bit.
years when I went, the money was sky high, and it was way better. It's too late for you guys. It's too late for you guys. Japan is benefiting from its reputation. It's just benefiting from old reputation, not really from what's happening right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, hold on a second. Let me just talk to the viewers over here. Well, guys, again, let's say hello to these people over here. I've just given them a little bit of advice on Japan. But, again, reach out to me.
Yeah.
I've got my email down there. So if you want to know more, you can talk to me and I'll let you know more. But anyway, I've got to go, but it was great meeting you. No worries. Thank you for doing this little interview here.
Have you learned some words of Guarani yet?
Not yet, unfortunately.
See you later or goodbye is Jadwe Shapeve.
Jadwe Shapeve.
Jadwe Shapeve.
I've learned some Guarani right now. And, definitely I want to know more. And but anyway, listen, guys. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. See you in the next episode.